Hey guys, it's me, I'm back again. So I've spent some time playing WARDOGS Alpha, and after getting to experience what this game is actually like, rather than just watching trailers, I have to say, there's something here. My initial night, first night of Alpha, I struggled. I was expecting to walk into a Battlefield game, large scale war, should feel the same. Gunplay should feel the same. I didn't get that. I struggled. After night one, I was actually quite upset. Not upset, but it's not what I expected. Didn't think I was gonna log on day two. Then I read some reviews of people that put in about 6 hours into the game in their first night, which is insane. Anyway, yeah, I became hooked my second night. So day two gave it another chance. Yeah, and this will be my first impressions review with some of my gameplay. And whereas after, you can just sit and watch some gameplay. I think there are some things people need to know before they spend their money. Because War Dogs isn't just trying to be another Battlefield style shooter. You've got 100 players, 3 factions, huge battles, vehicles, destruction, a persistent cash economy, which I think is awesome. And every decision you make can potentially affect what you're able to take into your next life. And now we finally know when we're gonna get it. They just announced War Dogs enters early access on September 10th. And it's going to cost $39.99, that's in dollars. So now the question is War Dogs worth $39.99? I think let's talk a bit about it. So what is War Dogs? I'm sure you've seen the trailers. If you're on this video, you've probably seen some gameplay of it at least. But if you've somehow missed War Dogs, here's a quick version. War Dogs is a large-scale tactical FPS from Bulkhead and Team 17. You've got up to 100 players split between 3 factions. The Valkyrie, Lonestar, and Manticore. I played with the Lonestar faction during the Alpha, which is the blue one. You'll see it. The basic objective is inspired by King of the Hill, I believe. 3 teams fight over a controlled zone, and whichever team controls that area earns points. I'm pretty sure you've seen this in other FPS games. First team to reach 100 points wins. But what makes War Dogs different is the economy, I think. You don't just spawn with whatever class and weapon you've selected. You're dealing with money. So you earn cash by playing the game. And that doesn't necessarily just mean getting kills. Reviving teammates, transporting players, helping with objectives, and other team focused actions can also earn you money. And then you decide what to spend your money on. Like weapons, armor, equipment, vehicles. So in my case, I spent a lot of money on sniper rifles. The first one, I'll get a bit more into gunplay later on, but that first sniper rifle sucks. Still fun, but it sucks. Now the gunplay. So, I believe gunplay is the most important part of any FPS. And this is probably where you're going to see the biggest difference, in my opinion, from people who played the Alpha. Personally, I really enjoyed the weight behind the weapons. This isn't one of those shooters where every gun feels like a laser pointer. There's recoil, there's weight, and weapons have their own character. And here in the clip you can also see, we can thank the guys in the chopper, because there's actual guys that spent the whole match just picking up guys from the safe zones, taking them to the battlefield or taking them back. Yeah, to get back to the gunplay. One recent player described the weapons as feeling weighty, meaningful recoil, and said that different weapons actually felt different. It's a guy that I had a chat with on Discord. But there's also an other side to this. Some players felt the gunplay still needed tightening. There were complaints about hit registration, time to kill, and general feel to shooting. And honestly, that's exactly the sort of thing I'd expect to see discussed during an alpha, you know. It's alpha after all. But I must say this alpha was very, very polished. The important thing is that the foundation is there. When you actually get into a firefight, it doesn't just feel like the game is trying to turn itself into a large title like Call of Duty. It feels heavier, more deliberate. And because dying can have an economy consequence, you actually start thinking about whether a fight is worth taking. Now, not in this gameplay, but I played with a teammate. He knows who he is. He wasn't a big fan at first. Then he warmed up to it. The thing is, we played for 15 plus years first person shooters where you just rush in, get killed, go back. Now there's consequences. It feels a bit like armor mixed with an extraction shooter of some sort. Yeah, you're not just necessarily thinking, can I get this kill? You're also thinking, what is this fight going to cost me? And I think that's where WARDOGS starts becoming interesting. As you're seeing, yeah, we're flying in the chopper. It takes a while to get to the battlefield, but it's just so awesome. It's a pretty game. I think there's a lot of mist and smoke. It's also a weird time of the day, I believe, on map, but I could be wrong. Talking about how beautiful the game is, I think there's still a bit of work to be done, but overall, a person that's been playing FPS games for so long, yeah, here's one of those crazy moments, and they happen all the time. Anyway, person that's been playing FPS for a very long time, this game is definitely one of the top games in terms of graphics, ray tracing, that type of thing. So yeah, visually I think WARDOGS looks good. Is it going to be the most technically impressive FPS you've ever seen? No. But I don't think it needs to be. What impressed me more was the actual environment. The map feels like, well, the one that we played. Rather than just a giant shooting arena, it feels like an actual battleground. You've got buildings, roads, open areas, cover, different approaches to the objective. And that matters. Because these maps have to support infantry combat, I think like vehicles, long range engagements, and a large scale battle the whole time. So yeah, here I grabbed a quad. It's on my way. I was impatient, as you can see. But yeah, just to come back to the graphics and the overall setting. With the scale of graphics and the map and 100 players and the performance, the constant... Look, I was playing European servers and I'm based in Africa, so I'm playing on 164, 167 ping the whole time. I didn't really feel it. Close quarter fights sometimes, but my performance stayed maxed out the whole time. I capped it at 144. It stayed there. Yeah. So the balance for me is between graphics and performance stands out, especially when you've got 100 players, everything that's going on. So far, WARDOGS appears to have a solid technical foundation. The devs have also said performance has been a priority and that they've been optimizing across different hardware configurations. I'm running a NVIDIA 5070 Ti, which is not a bad graphics card by any means, but I've also heard of players with lower rigs that ran 100 FPS consistently. So then, as you can hear, there's quite, as we get further into the match, sounds are also great. You can hear the springs squeaking. That's one thing that I noticed in my very first match flying in the helicopter. You can hear the metal creaking in the chopper, which I find fantastic. Something else I don't think gets talked about enough is the sound, actually, and WARDOGS really does this really well. When you're in a firefight, there's a lot happening. Shots coming from different directions, explosions, vehicles, players talking, the in-game chat. And because the game uses proximity voice chat, the battlefield actually feels alive. At times, there are those people that prefer to stay silent, which I guess is okay. You can hear random players talking absolute nonsense sometimes. You get some idiots as well, which is expected. That kind of interaction for me is something you really can't script. We've seen this in other titles. It's always been successful. Yeah. Sometimes with the sound, I must say, one thing that I've noticed is you can't always tell whether it's above you or below you. Like if you're in a building, that directional sound is a bit, I don't know, I want to say janky, but I couldn't tell clearly, and I've got a decent headset. But other than that, Gunplay, everything sounds amazing. Like that jet, as we say that. Then next topic will be the economy. So that obviously stands out, as everyone knows. And this is what I think could ultimately make or break WARDOGS. Every player starts with money. You earn money during matches, and then you spend that money on your next loadout. And this creates something I really like. There's a reason not to throw your life away. In a normal FPS, you die, you respawn, that's it. In WARDOGS, there's another question. What am I risking? Do I buy an expensive weapon? Do I save my money? Do I take the helicopter? That's if you can fly it, of course. Do I grab heavier armor if you've unlocked it? Do I support the team? Do I spend money on something that could potentially change the battle? And importantly, the game rewards more than just killing people. That means someone who's playing like the logistics or helping teammates can still contribute to the economy, like reviving your teammates, that type of thing. There's also a potential problem, I think. If the economy isn't balanced properly, richer players could potentially gain advantages that create the snowball effect. You can see me running with this shitty sniper that I spoke about. I hate everything about it because the damage is so low. I had to hit guys, I'm sure you'll see, 3 times in the head and they still didn't drop if they had armor on or helmet. So now at this point I had probably put in about 7 hours into the game and I'm still sitting with a sniper. I think there needs to be a bit of balancing there. But then again, if you think about it, the game's also rewarding those that actually play the game longer. So that is just something we should get used to, I guess. But I'm sure they'll keep an eye on it. Then vehicles, destruction, and team play. This is where WARDOGS can get absolutely insane, I think. You've got infantry, armored vehicles, helicopters, artillery, construction, destruction. We haven't seen a lot of destruction in the alpha. We saw a bit more in the trailers, so I believe that will be implemented at a later stage. Yeah, I flew the heli a few times. I got used to it quite quickly because in other games I do fly the heli quite a lot, practice a lot. I know the devs talked about adding more vehicles eventually. I think where we stand now, we're actually okay. Dealing with a tank as an infantry is a pain in the ass. I'm going to say it outright. But I've never been inside a tank. So that's the thing. Maybe it's balanced, maybe it's not. It's for you to decide. When everything starts happening at once, WARDOGS can create some seriously memorable moments. But this is also one of the areas where players have already identified balance issues. There's been feedback about mortars being so powerful. So we were standing in one stronghold, the other stronghold built before us, they got mortars, and they bombed us. Team kept dying. We couldn't use that stronghold. I think there shouldn't be that much of a distance on it. Maybe it's designed that way. But then again, it's cool that they are mortars. It creates that other element, you know. So it's alpha. We're not talking about a finished game here. But they are going to launch into early access next month. So it's literally just around the corner. Then, what do I think is the biggest problem? So yeah, I'm trying to just disrupt these guys. Yeah, so like you see, their momentum broke with commentary. And that is also, which I think is the biggest problem in WARDOGS, which I don't think is a massive issue, but some matches can feel too long, especially if you're in the losing side, you know. And when you're on the winning side, which our Lonestar side probably saw twice in the almost 12 hours that I put into the game. Shame. I don't know what happened to us, but anyway. When you do eventually win, I don't think the rewards is rewarding enough. Can I put it? It's not significant enough. You know, there's one match that was over an hour. People are reporting matches close to 2 hours. I don't know if that's true, but could be. I don't mind the long matches. You know, I zoned out. I think it's this match actually where I just sniped, did my own thing, and I had a great match. We lost, but still, I had a lot of fun. You know, for me, it's like the shooting, teamwork. When you do play part as a team, you kind of just forget and you get lost into this world. You feel part of this battle. Most of the time, I feel like we need to win this. But then there's other times where I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to sit, enjoy sniping, sitting here in the corner, add value in other ways. So, yeah, with all that said, brings us to early access. Like I said, WARDOGS launching on September the 10th. And Bulkhead is being very clear that this is an early access game. The devs currently expect early access to last around 1 to 2 years. Although that timeline can probably change, let's face it. They've also said the game will grow with more maps, weapons, vehicles, gameplay variety, and deeper progression. And I feel like that's important because I don't think you should buy WARDOGS expecting a finished 1.0 game on September the 10th. You're buying into the foundation. you're buying into the dev process, and you're essentially betting that Bulkhead can take this foundation and turn it into something much bigger. So, is $39.99 worth it? Honestly, I think it's a reasonable price for what you are getting at the moment. 100%. It's not about getting beta access, because that you get beta access if you pre-order. It's not about that for me. I'm sure there's other ways of getting it eventually. It's not confirmed, so don't hold me to it. You're not buying a finished AAA title. You're buying an early access tactical FPS with a foundation that the developers intended to expand. And there's actually a pretty interesting reason to get in early. Bulkhead said that the game will be priced lower during early access, and that the price is expected to increase as more content and systems are added. Now, I don't know how that will work. Will they add, passes to it of some sort? They also said the monetization for the game will purely be cosmetic, so you won't be able to pay to win. There also won't be a normal in-game monetization during early access. There will be a supporters edition with additional cosmetics, I believe. So if you've been watching WARDOGS and already know you want to play it, getting it during early access would probably make sense. But if you're someone who wants to get a completely polished game, I'd wait, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with waiting, but I also couldn't find a lot of issues with this game. I'm just being honest. I was very hard on it, like I said. My first day, second day, started falling in love with it. Third day, the Sunday, I couldn't put it down. But I had to. So, yeah. Final verdict. I'm excited. I don't think WARDOGS is perfect. The gunplay still needs a bit of refinement in some areas. Hit reg at times. Vehicles need balancing. Some weapons and equipment need looking at. And the game needs to make sure its matches have enough momentum to keep players invested from beginning to end. But I think if the foundation is seriously good, the gunplay has weight, the map looks great, the audio is excellent, the economy, yeah. And the fact that you have 100 players, 3 factions, and proximity chat, those are just clips to be had. Like I said, I played as a Lonestar during the alpha, and I can honestly say that I came away wanting to play more. And that's probably the biggest compliment I can give the game. So again, is WARDOGS worth $39.99 for me? Yes. And I'm pretty sure there's some of my mates that will say, dude, you're crazy. Because they expected something else. And you know what? Then it's not for you. It's not for those players. But you'll see with time. They also said, if you pre-order the game, you'll get beta access. After the beta, if you feel like it's not for you, you can refund it. I do think WARDOGS might be one of the most interesting shooters coming this year. I'll definitely be playing it. So let me know in the comments. Are you buying WARDOGS on day 1? Are you waiting to see how early access develops? And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Alright. Thank you for the rest. I don't have anything, but okay. Thank you.
More you spend, the better. See you around. Thought I'd be seeing you again. See you around. You buying? You gotta spend money to make money. I was wondering when I'd see my cash cow again. Yeah, be quick, I ain't got all day. I'll probably see you soon. Alright, what do you need? Don't let me down out there.
Thank you, bro.
I saw a guy parachuting on the buildings on the left, the white ones. I don't know where though.
Yeah, I see. Oh, another fellow gangster, huh? Fellow gangster, I can see. Rocking the glove.
Oh yeah. Mostly not because
In the building, in the building. You got me right there.
Red bucket. Red. In front. Thank you.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Don't have any of this.
on in, come on in. Come on in, gangster.
Ah, welcome thee.